60 minutes, that's all I have. If the clock hits 0, I disappear like I was never here. I wake with a start, cheek pressed to cold tile, the taste of metal in my mouth. My head rings, my tongue is dry, and the air smells like dust and bleach. I don't know this room. It has a low ceiling, one flickering light, and a door with a bolt on the outside. My hands shake as I sit up. A phone lies near my knee, screen cracked like a spider web. It buzzes, and a timer fills the display. 59 to 47. Beneath it is a message in plain white text. You have 1 hour to survive. Prove you deserve it, I want to laugh, but fear moves faster than humor. I stand, wobble, and steady myself on a rusted sink. My face is a blur in the warped mirror, too dim to see more than a shadow. Good, I don't want to look at myself right now. I breathe in through my nose, out through my mouth, counting to 5, then 10, the way I taught myself during sleepless nights. In the far corner sits a metal chair, and on it a small black box with a number lock. Next to the chair is a folded note, held down by a single coin. I take the note first. The paper is thin, almost transparent, as if it has been handled too much. 4 words in block letters, start with what's missing. The coin is old, scratched, the image faded. I pocket it without thinking, then reach for the black box. The lock waits with 4 dials. My mind runs through the obvious numbers, birthdays, years, a street address, but none of those feel right. I look around the room again. Start with what's missing. The mirror has a spider crack in the top left corner, like a missing piece. The sink has no handle. The light flickers, then steadies, then flickers again. As if part of something is gone, the phone buzzes. 58 to 21. The sound drags a thin line of panic across my chest. I force my eyes to slow down and scan. The floor tiles form a neat grid except for one near the door. Its color is off by a shade, like a missing twin replaced by a poor copy. I kneel and run my finger along the edge. It moves. I pry it up. Beneath the tile is a tiny cloth pouch. Inside the pouch is a strip of paper with 4 digits. 0713. I enter the code into the lock. The dials click. The box opens with a dull sigh. Inside, a cheap plastic lighter, a folded map of the city printed in black and white, and a small key on a red string. The key is friendly to the fingers, well used. I pull it off the string and try it in the door, but the bolt is on the outside. The key is useless for that. I turn to the map. It's not the whole city, only 3 blocks marked with a thick X on the corner where an old cinema sits, the one that closed after the roof fell in. A thin arrow drawn in pencil points from the X to a narrow lane behind the cinema. The lighter feels like it belongs to me. I flick it and a weak flame stutters to life, then steadies. Heat brushes my knuckles. The phone vibrates again. 56 minutes and 59 seconds. I slide the key into the only other lock in the room, a short cupboard under the sink. It opens to a coil of rope, a roll of duct tape, and a small glass bottle half full of clear liquid with a faint smell of alcohol. There's also a hand-drawn symbol on the cupboard wall, an eye with a line through it. No eyes, no witnesses, or maybe a warning not to trust what I see. I take the rope and the bottle, shove them into a worn canvas bag hanging from the chair, and sling the bag over my shoulder. The lighter goes into my pocket. The phone timer taps at my nerves. 56 minutes and 1 second, the ceiling vent hums. If the door is bolted from the outside, the vent might be my way out. The grate is at shoulder height, held by 2 screws that look hand-tightened. I tug with my fingers and the first screw comes free, warm from the light. The second is slick, with grime and will not budge. I wrap duct tape around my index finger to get a grip, press hard, twist, and feel the thread give. The grate comes away in my hand. Behind it, a shaft just wide enough for a person to crawl through. The air inside smells of old rain and something stale. My skin prickles, but time keeps pushing me. 55 to 5. I climb onto the chair, slide the bag into the vent first, and pull myself after it. My arms burn. The metal groans under my weight, but holds. I drag the grate behind me and drop it in place, leaving the screws beside it like two little teeth. I move on elbows and knees, careful counting breaths. The shaft turns left, then slopes down, then flattens out again. Dust coats my lips. I try not to cough. I tell myself one thing over and over, keep going until you can't. Then keep going more. The shaft ends at another grate. Through it, I see a wider room, dim and empty, with a door that looks like it leads to a hallway. I press my ear to the vent and listen. Footsteps, faint and slow, like someone pacing with a limp, then silence, a soft drip, the hum of electricity. I hold still until my heartbeat stops trying to climb out of my throat. The lighter's tiny flame warms the edge of the grate where rust fights metal. I burn the tape, soften the glue, pry the grate loose, and slide into the room. It's a storage. Space shelving, stacked boxes, a cracked window painted shut. On the wall, another message in the same plain block letters, written on masking tape. Don't look for exits, look for entries. I turn that over in my head. What's the difference? An exit saves you once, an entry leads to where you're supposed to go. The map in my pocket scratches at my skin, the cinema. The lane, I try the door and it opens into a long corridor painted the color of wet cement. The lights buzz and the camera at the far end points at the floor, dead. My shoes make soft sounds on the linoleum. Every step feels like a choice I can't undo. The corridor ends with a stairwell that smells of old coffee and rain. I take the stairs 2 at a time, counting floors. At the first landing I stop, because a new note waits on the rail, fixed there with clear tape. Half the hour is not for you, it's for me. I will take it back if you waste it. I don't know who wrote that, but I know the tone. Someone who enjoys the rules more than the game. Someone who thinks time is a leash. I tuck the note into my bag, take another breath, and push through the door to the street. Night air hits my face like a slap. The sky is low and heavy. The city wears its lights like a tired crown. My phone buzzes. 50 minutes and 17 seconds. I start to run, not because I want to, but because every second has a taste now. And it tastes like fear and metal and the chance to keep breathing. Asterisk, the street is almost empty, yet it doesn't feel safe. The kind of silence that doesn't belong in a city too clean, too planned, like someone pressed pause on the world and left me running inside a frame. My feet slap against the wet pavement, carrying me toward the cinema marked on the map. The phone's timer glows in my hand. 48 to 39. Each second clicks past like teeth snapping shut. I keep my head down, eyes scanning shadows. Street lamps buzz, some alive, some dead. I pass shuttered shops, posters peeling from brick walls, windows smeared with dust. I try to picture the cinema. I remember walking past it years ago, before the roof caved in. A theater frozen in time, screen gone, rows of broken chairs like ribs sticking out of the dark. Why there? Why lead me to a place already gutted? Half. A block away, I hear it footsteps. Not steady, but dragging like something pulling weight it can't carry. I duck into an alley, press against the cold wall. The sound grows louder, then stops. A voice slips through the air, calm and strange. You're wasting it? The words are so soft they could be in my head, but I know they're not. Someone else is here. I force myself to breathe evenly. The alley is narrow, choked with trash. Bags and a single rusted fire escape. My hands tremble as I climb, boots scraping the ladder, bag clanging against the metal. From above, the street is a grid of broken light and long shadows. I crouch, scanning. A figure stands where I was seconds ago, tall still, head tilted slightly as if listening for my heartbeat. They don't move, but I know they've seen the wet marks of my shoes. I crawl across the roof, tiles shifting under my weight. The lighter's shape presses into my pocket. The map is a crumpled reminder against my ribs. I can't stop moving. Not now. Across the roof, a plank bridges the gap to another building, narrow and trembling under the wind. My chest tightens. One wrong step, and I'll fall into the black mouth of the alley below, but the timer doesn't slow. 46 minutes and 12 seconds, I go. Each step squeaks and groans. My arms stretch for balance. The plank bends, threatens to snap. My breath stalls in my throat, then solid roof again. My knees almost give, but I don't stop. I crouch behind a chimney, sucking air into burning lungs. From here, I can see the cinema. Its sign is still, clinging to the facade, letters missing like broken teeth. Only CNEA remains, glowing faint with some stubborn bulb. The roof looks jagged, glass teeth catching the dim light. The lane behind it, the one marked with the pencil arrow, waits like a throat ready to swallow me. I make my way down, slipping into another alley that smells of wet stone and oil. The cinema looms larger, silent as a grave. I keep to the wall, every shadow threatening to move. The lane is narrower than I thought, barely wide enough for a car. Trash cans line the walls, lids askew. The brick is cracked, the ground littered with glass. My phone buzzes. 43 minutes and 9 seconds. A note waits at the end of the lane, taped to a door so old. It looks like it belongs in another century. The note is written in the same block letters. Open it, or don't. Either way, the hour is mine. I touch the handle, locked. The key on the red string burns in my pocket. I slide it in. The lock turns with a click. The room inside is small, no bigger than a storage shed. The walls are covered in photos. Not neat frames, but hundreds of prints pinned in crooked rows. Each one shows the same thing. People standing at this very lane, looking scared, confused, some holding maps, some clutching timers. All different faces, all different years, all the same story. And in every photo, the same figure stands in. The corner, tall, still, watching. My chest tightens, throat raw. I step closer, eyes darting over the faces. A boy no older than 12, a woman with her arm in a sling, a man wearing a suit, tie half torn. Their eyes all hold the same look. I feel now the weight of time pressing down, the taste of fear like iron on the tongue, then my stomach twists. Near the bottom, a photo shows me, same jacket, same shoes, same bag. My face blurred by motion, but no doubt. And the timer on my phone, frozen in the photo, 42 minutes and 0 seconds. I stumble back, drop the picture. The lighter flicks in my hand, flames stuttering against the stale air. A sound comes from behind the door. A laugh, soft, patient, as if whoever it is has been waiting a long time. My phone buzzes. 41 minutes and 57 seconds. 3 seconds gone while I stood frozen. I know now I'm not the first to be here. And maybe I'm not meant to leave, but I refuse to be another photo on this wall. I grip the lighter tighter. Hold the map up to the flame, watching the paper curl. If the game is theirs, I'll change the rules. Asterisk, the fire eats the edges of the map, black curling into orange, smoke biting my throat. I let it burn until only half remains, then crush the ember under my boot. If they wanted me to follow a path, it's gone now. My rules, not theirs. The photos on the wall tremble as if the air itself shivers. A draft slides in through cracks I hadn't seen before, thin slits in the bricks like hidden eyes watching. I don't stay long enough to look closer. I back out of the room, key still in the lock, heart hammering. The lane feels tighter than before, walls leaning in. I hear footsteps again, steady this time, no limp, no drag. Whoever's behind me isn't hiding anymore. I run. My bag bounces against my back, lighter clattering inside. The phone timer glows, 39 to 11. I don't dare slow. The city twists into shapes I don't remember. Streets bend wrong, alleys end in walls that shouldn't be there. I pass a shop window and stop cold. My reflection stares back, but it isn't me. Same jacket, same shoes, but the face is blurred as if smeared by unseen hands. Behind the blur stands the tall figure from the photos, one hand resting on my shoulder. Glass rattles. I stumble back. No figure in the street. Only silence. I press on, chest aching, lungs begging for rest. A playground appears, rusted swings groaning in the wind. A single note hangs from a chain, flapping like a trapped bird. I snatch it. Running only feeds me. Stop and I'll show you the truth. The timer buzzes. 37 minutes and 0 seconds. My feet freeze, torn between the instinct to run and the lure of an answer. For the first time, I stand still, every sound magnified, the swings creak, the hum of power lines. The pulse in my ears, then a shadow slides across the sand. Not from me, not from anything I can see. Long, stretched, patient, waiting, I whisper to myself, voice shaking. Truth or survival? The timer ticks on, unforgiving. I know I have to choose. Asterisk, the swing creaks once more, slow and heavy as if an invisible hand pushes it, my chest tightens. The timer buzzes 35 to 59, and I know hesitation is a noose. I take one step toward the shadow stretching across the sand. The air grows thick, the way it does before a storm, though the sky is clear. A voice, low and close, slides into the space around me. You've already lost. I spin, lighter clenched like a weapon. No one there. Only the empty slide, the dead grass, the black windows of apartments that look down like blind eyes. My hand shakes, but I strike the flame anyway. Its glow is small, but it fights the dark that seems thicker than it should be. The timer buzzes again. 34 minutes and 40 seconds, then something impossible. The numbers freeze. They don't vanish, they don't count, they just hold still. Time itself takes a breath. The playground dissolves. Not crumbles, not fades, just peels away. The swings vanish, the sand melts into black glass, the air splits open like paper tearing. I'm no longer outside. I stand in a vast hall with walls made of mirrors. Each reflection shows me running in different directions, alleys, rooftops, stairwells, dozens of versions of me, each trapped in the same loop. One reflection steps forward. My face is clear this time, no blur. Same eyes, same scar on the chin, but the mouth moves on its own. We've all run, none escaped. You're only the next frame. I stagger back, but the mirrors close in, circling like predators. Every version of me repeats the same phrase in a dull chant. The hour is theirs, the hour is theirs. My phone buzzes. The timer starts again, 33 minutes and 59 seconds, and the sound echoes like thunder in the mirrored hall. Panic claws up my throat. I hurl. The lighter at the glass? The flame smashes against a reflection, cracks spiderwebbing across its surface. The chant stutters. The reflections freeze. Through the crack, I see something beyond. Not another version of me, but an exit. A door, narrow, pale with light, I don't think. I run. I throw my whole body at the cracked mirror, glass biting into my arms, cutting skin. The reflection shatters, and I tumble through. Silence. I land hard on cold concrete. When I lift my head, I'm back in the first room, the bolt on the door, the rusted sink, the broken mirror. The timer on the phone reads 59 to 59, as if nothing happened. As if the hour hasn't even begun, but on the chair, where the black box once sat, there's a new note waiting. 4 words scrawled this time, not printed. Again, until you understand. The phone buzzes. 59 minutes and 58 seconds, and the hour begins all over again.